How's it going, guys? Just finished rewatching Warlock, released in '91 in the US, but originally was released in 1989 over in the UK. I have to say I'm a huge fan of this movie, starring Julian Sands as the Warlock, also starring Richard E. Grant, who plays Redfin. Directed by Steve Miner, previously had directed Friday the 13th Part 2, Part 3, and after this movie, he directed Forever Young with Mel Gibson. Anyway, but really don't hear too many people talk about this movie. I just think it's time for like a resurgence or something like that. There is a sequel, Warlock 2, The Armageddon. Julian Sands does come back, plays a Warlock again. If you've seen that one, comment down below, let me know. Or if you want to see a review on that one, comment down below, let me know. And maybe someday I'll review that one. But let's get right into it, guys. The Warlock is imprisoned by Redfin. The day before he's getting ready to be executed, he basically gets saved by the devil. They end up getting teleported to the future, 1988, and Warlock, he crashes into somebody's house, and he's knocked out. You know, wakes up the next day, realizes he's in the future, and he's trying to find the Grand Grimoire. Basically, in this movie, he's traveling all over the U.S. to try to find these pages for this book called the Grand Grimoire. It's supposed to be like the highly coveted witch's Bible. This movie is kind of like a fish out of water story in a way, and it kind of goes on this cross-country hunt for the Warlock and trying to hunt him down. They come across like an old farmhouse. There's more pages. The owner of the farmhouse is a Mennonite, so he kind of already knows the signs of being bewitched. He goes and puts a hex mark on his barn. Redfin and Cassandra, they're driving up and they see the hex mark. They show up. Come to find out the Warlock had been there, and but he didn't find what he was looking for until Redfin finds it, and then they realize the Warlock was waiting for them to find the pages. Get into a little battle, take off. You know, they're able to fight him off a little bit. He kind of gets away, but not before Cassandra's able to get her charm back to undo the spell that was done to her. So she's able to kind of gains back the years that were taken away from her, which by this point I think it was 40 years. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit off topic, I have to say. By this time she's supposed to be like 60, but the makeup is kind of janky. Well, it's because the actress Laurie Singer did not want to do heavy makeup to make her look really old. Sorry for the little rant there, just wanted to throw that out there. So once they break the curse, she's kind of like, okay, well, you're on your own, Redfin. And he's like, no, you got to help me because of XYZ. Because that's at this point, that's when they realize the Grand Grimoire is actually, it holds the name to Christ, and then it can undo all of reality if it's said backwards. So now he kind of explains to her how dire it is, and then like all of existence can be wiped out because of this. She comes up with the idea, well, why don't we look for the rest of the pages instead of going after the Warlock? So they end up going to Boston because the last remaining pages of the book are at an old church in Boston. They think that they're kind of one step ahead of the Warlock, when in actuality the Warlock's now following them. They get to Boston, they get to the church. The priest of the church knows of the book or the pages. He knows for sure that they're not there on the church grounds. So they do some research. Come to find out they're at an old cemetery in Boston. They get to the cemetery. Well, it turns out that the city of Boston is doing like an expansion of the cemetery. So they're moving a bunch of the graves over to non-hallowed ground. So then they kind of realize like, oh, we're gonna have to find the pages, and they find out that the pages are in a grave that's marked with a hex mark on it. Come to find out it's Redfin's grave. So he starts flipping out because, how am I dead, but I'm here, but I'm dead. And then next thing you know, Cassandra's having to pull his corpse out and get the pages. Warlock shows up, battle ensues. You know, he captures Cassandra. He's able to lure Redfin out with the pages and fight him hand to hand. But of course, Warlock ends up cheating, and he gets the upper hand, and he's able to put the book together, and he starts summoning the name of God. Before he's able to say the name of God, Cassandra comes in, gives him the final blow with the 2 shots of salt water, and basically that about does it for the Warlock. Cassandra and Redfin save the day. Now that his mission is over, the spell broke off, so he got sent back in time. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much does it. At the end of the movie, you see Cassandra burying the whole book of the Grand Grimoire out in like the salt flats in the middle of nowhere. And basically that's how the movie ends. I have to say, guys, this movie, I remember seeing it back, I know it was on TBS when I first saw it. I can't remember if it was Movies for Guys Who Like Movies or if it was just like one late night on TBS they were showing the movie. But ever since I first saw this movie, I've been a huge fan of it ever since. I was fortunate enough to be able to meet Julian Sands at Texas Frightmare, and super cool. I mean, beyond that, I kind of wanted to give this movie some more love, as well as the sad thing, it's bittersweet because as of January 2023, it was reported that Julian Sands went missing when he went out hiking, and he hasn't been seen ever since. So that was another reason why I kind of felt like, you know, I wanted to, I guess in spirit, give this movie some love. I feel like it definitely deserves it, and I think it holds up to this day, at least in my opinion. Comment down below, let me know what you think, guys, of the film. Have you seen it? Are you a fan of it? Have you seen the second movie, the Armageddon? There is a third one, but I don't acknowledge its existence just because it's not Julian Sands. And I mean, if you want to torture yourself, then I guess watch it. But yeah, the third one, don't watch it. You know, this first one is probably my favorite of the two. I love both movies. They're both really cool, but for me, the first one is my favorite still to this day. It is on Tubi right now, so you can catch it on Tubi. So I suggest at least check it out, give it a watch. It's pretty entertaining. If I was to give it a rating, I'd give it 4 out of 5 horror cats. And I even still have my old DVD of it. Mainly because I don't think I've seen this on Blu-ray. They have a Blu-ray collection of the 3 of them together. But yeah, again, part 3. But yeah, I mean, I got this back in olden times when Blockbuster was still a thing. So yeah, guys, if you're new to the channel, feel free to like, share, subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, thanks again, guys, for coming back and for the continued support. I really appreciate it. And again, definitely recommend this movie. It's a good watch. It's a classic for me. I still love watching it. Until then, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy and have a good one.